of punches aren't enough. Have a drink on me.
No, wait, what's going on here? That's no.
Mad Dog.
That cannot be right.
A drink.
Johnny Storm has won the match.
Mad Dog offered him a drink.
And this is disgusting.
Mad Dog was not interfering.
Look here, Phil Powers.
What's he doing? What's he doing? Get that man out!
You know, I think this could just be the beginning of a war brewing here.
You want to see some heavy stuff? We're going to be here.
Hi, I'm Dan Belinka and welcome to another spine-busting edition of UWA Wrestling Rampage. As you've just seen, we had 4 volatile individuals involved in a chaotic situation at the end of last week's programme. By order of UWA Chairman Mick McManus, that situation will be resolved right here this week when Phil Powers and Paul Sloan face off against Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm in tag team action. Also in this hour, we've got 2 international stars. Gran Naniwa from Japan is about to graduate from the School of Hard Knocks, courtesy of Kerry Cabrero. And American fallen angel Christopher Daniels may well be calling for a ban on British beef when he locks up with Danny Royal. All that and much more coming up. But right now, let's get down to ringside where we await hot stuff Stevie Knight, who's set to meet Steve Linsky's meal ticket, the anarchist, Doug Williams.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kenny McBride, and with me, as always, is Steve Morgan, as we see Stevie Knight coming out to the ring with Sarah.
Hot stuff, Stevie Knight there, Kenny, with his Annie Lennox hairstyle. And that's his younger sister there. Lovely to see the family.
It is not.
Lovely to see the family involved. Can't you see the resemblance there?
That's not his sister, Stevie, you know
can't
it.
you see the resemblance? Stevie Knight's got the big biceps and Sarah's got the big...
oh, well,
anyway, this promises to be a great contest.
Yes, it does. Steve Knight, one of the most talented wrestlers in the whole of Britain, possibly even the world. An incredible athlete, an innovator, very, very talented, very exciting to watch. And, of course, Sarah will keep you busy outside the ring, I would imagine, Steve.
Yeah, enough of that. But I'll tell you what, Kenny, he will be absolutely no match for the anarchist Doug Williams, one of my favourite wrestlers in the UWA and managed by the genius that is Steve Linsky.
Well, I don't know about Steve Linsky being a genius. I'll agree with you about Doug's talent, though.
Well, I'm glad we agree on something. Nice to see that we have something in common.
And his opponent, standing 6'1" and accompanied by his manager, Steve Linsky. He weighs in at a disorderly 214 pounds. He's better than bad. He's the anarchist, Doug Williams.
Well, Steve, the anarchist, like his name suggests, he doesn't really care about the rules of wrestling. He just likes to get in the ring and fight.
But he's a fantastic fighter at that, mate, and you cannot deny that simple fact.
Hold on.
Hey, Doug, you ain't wrestling this match.
What?
Stevie Knight, you ain't got the wrestling ability to be in the same ring as my guy.
Absolutely right.
Doug, you ain't wrestling this match. I want you saved for Chris Daniels.
How insulting to Steve Knight.
You don't get paid.
That's a manager that cares, Kenny. That's a manager that cares.
You don't get paid.
Why should Doug waste his time?
That's a manager with no respect for the contract that Doug Williams has signed.
Well, Steve Linsky's, he's laid it on the line there. He's got his wrestler's best intentions.
Shut your mouth. Anarchist, Douglas Williams. Listen to me, boy. I have signed to wrestle you. All these people seem to think you're the best thing since sliced bread. Let me prove just how great I am. Take a look at what's hot and what's not.
Well,
hey, Knight, you can kiss my backside.
oh, wait a minute.
He'd probably like that, Steve.
Oh, come on,
Are you
Steve.
going to stay or are you going to come?
Well,
now, Doug Williams has got to listen to the valuable advice of Steve Linsky.
Well, Doug doesn't look too happy about all this. I don't know what's going on between Steve and Doug. And look, here we see Mick McManus backstage. Doesn't look happy with Doug at all.
Mr. McManus, I think you should give me the shot at this. I'm ready to work.
You're a bit light, Jody.
I know, I'm a bit light and I'm giving away a lot in age, and you know that. But I think you also know that it's the heart that counts.
Well, fair enough. Jody, you're on.
Excellent, thanks a lot.
I'll go and let everybody know what's happening.
Well, that was Jody Fleisch, a young up-and-coming athlete, backstage there, explaining that he wants the shot at Steve Knight now. And Mick McManus seems to have said that it's okay, and as we know, his word is law.
It is law. But Jody Fleisch has got a fight on his hands here, Kenny, I'll tell you that.
Well, that's right, Steve, but Jody Fleisch, very young, very enthusiastic, very hard-working, and very, very talented. As we heard from Mick there, he's worried a little bit about how light and how young Jody is. Maybe this will be too big an occasion for him. But Jody's got so much guts that I don't think it's going to be a problem. I think he'll give Steve a good match.
Yeah, but look at him up against Stevie Knight. He looks 14.
Well, I'm not going to deny that... Hold on, wait. Steve dragging him into the ring, tearing his T-shirt off now, stomping away.
He's going to have to get used to this, Kenny.
Oh, my God, a huge
What
slam
have you
there.
let yourself in for, Jody?
Steve showing off his massive power advantage over Jody. Huge chop in the corner, reminiscent of one of Steve's heroes, Ric Flair there.
Well, Jody needs plenty of flair if he's going to overcome this onslaught that he's being subjected to from hot stuff Stevie Knight.
Yeah, Steve plainly isn't happy, is he, Steve? Steve Knight, he's just angry. I think that's the only way to describe it. He's in a rage about Doug Williams' treatment of him.
Kenny, what Stevie Knight has got to accept is that he was simply no contest for Doug Williams, and he's got to accept that.
Yeah, now we understand we've got Mick backstage with Jamila.
Hi, I've got with me Mick McManus. Hi, Mick.
Hi, Joanna.
I hear the Anarchist has refused to wrestle Stevie Knight. What are the consequences of that?
Well, it's entirely up to him. If he doesn't want to wrestle him, that's fine. But he's got to wrestle the American guy, and if he beats him, then he's in the 10-man tournament. If he doesn't beat him, then he's got to start from scratch. He's got to wrestle number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so forth and so on.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, now, if I understand Mick McManus right there, Steve, then Doug is going to enter the tournament number 1 if he loses to the fallen angel, Chris Daniels, but number 10 if he can beat him. Now, I don't know if Steve Linsky had this sorted out before he arranged for Doug to miss this match, but it could go either way for Doug.
Well, don't underestimate Steve Linsky's brilliance. And look at that, a little bit of wonderful
up into the other corner, another backflip.
He thinks he's in the circus, doesn't he?
And Steve hits a huge backdrop there. Dangerous backdrop.
But as I was saying, Kenny, don't underestimate Steve Linsky's genius as a manager. He knew what he was doing when he prevented Doug Williams getting into the ring with Stevie Knight. He knows exactly what he's doing, and who knows, Doug Williams may indeed have a game plan of his own.
Well, he may. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see later on. But as we see here, Steve really taking out his anger on Jody. Jody's just getting bounced all over the ring. And I don't know if he can take much more of this.
Well, maybe he's thinking Stevie will tire and then he can come in and finish him off. But he must be one of the biggest optimists in the game if he's thinking that.
Well, I don't know what either of these guys are thinking. Steve just... I mean, I know Steve. Steve's a very talented guy, very gifted, very great at what he does.
He speaks very highly of you, Kenny.
Well, I hope so. But... he seems to just have so much anger now, the way he's been treated by Doug, and Jody's just like a lamb to the slaughter. 2 count there, but Steve lifts Jody up. Jody was ready to take the count there, but Steve isn't going to take it that easily. I think Steve wants to dish out a bit more punishment. As Jody flips out, jumps over the top rope. Steve comes up, blocks a punch, and a kick to the head.
Now we have it. Jody Fleisch.
Jody with a huge
dishing it up and serving it out.
Rope. Well, that staggered Steve. What do you reckon now about Jody's prospects?
Well, as I said, maybe that was his thinking, was that Knight would tire and he could do him in, but I think he's just got a sudden burst of energy. Hot stuff, Stevie Knight.
Huge Liger bomb from Hot Stuff there. Now, picking Jody up. I think this is going to be the night driver, Steve. One of the most devastating moves in the world today.
Oh, dear.
I was there the night Steve invented that move 2 years ago, and nobody's ever kicked out.
Well, for Jody Fleisch, all you can say is we certainly hope that experience was character building, because it was certainly painful.
Stevie Knight apparently sending a message there to the Anarchist, and Doug Williams certainly has a lot on the line next week. Mick McManus's motto appears to be careful what you wish for, you may get it. The Anarchist turns down a match with Stevie Knight in favour of a more high-profile match with Fallen Angel next week. Mick McManus says fine, but if you don't beat the Fallen Angel, you'll enter the 10-man winner-stays-on tournament for the TV title in first position, meaning you have to beat all the other 9 athletes entered into that tournament. The stakes are high for the Anarchist next week, and he may be wondering how helpful to his career controversial manager Steve Linsky really is.
Still to come, we see the Fallen Angel prior to his showdown with the Anarchist when he locks up with the UK's very own Danny Royal. Phil Powers and Paul Sloan are out for justice against Mad Dog and Johnny Storm. But up next, it's Gran Naniwa against Kerry Cabrero.
Judge Judy, double episode. Tonight at 8.
I don't need any help, sir.
This blizzard's come down really fast. The road's blocked. We won't be going anywhere tonight. We've got a blanket, but it's only big enough for one.
If you need a car but can't get credit, Motor Finance Direct can help. Free phone 0800 052 1000.
Get the edge with BodyTech Sports Pro. BodyTech uses EMS, electronic muscle stimulation. Developed by physiotherapists in the 70s to help injured athletes recuperate muscles, EMS is now being used by professional athletes as part of their regular training routines. BodyTech can help you enhance your body by toning individual muscle groups. Just strap the specially designed pads to the muscles you want to tone.
I use BodyTech for enhanced muscle definition.
BodyTech is safe and simple and can even be used while relaxing in the home or office. The BodyTech Sports Pro is guaranteed for 1 year and comes with a 14-day money-back trial.
BodyTech has given me the added edge.
BodyTech is available from selected retail stores. For information or to order, simply call 08000 35 0000. Get the edge with BodyTech Sports Pro. Call 08000 35 0000 now.
Hi, I'm Danny Kelly, editor of Football 365, and I've got something that everybody wants just now. 2 tickets to the FA Cup final between Manchester United and Newcastle. And not just ordinary tickets either. These beauties allow you and a friend to spend the day lording it up in unparalleled luxury, then see the final itself. And all you have to do to get your hands on this great prize is ring 09069 12 11 99 and answer a really simple question. So give us a ring now and you could be at Wembley this Saturday.
Waring & Co. Solicitors, specialists in personal injury claims. If we don't win, you don't pay. 0800 975 6363.
What's your name?
Dominic Green.
And your occupation?
Presenter of Lie Detector.
What's your favourite food?
Eggs.
Do you consider yourself a star?
Put like that.
Are you being paid for this?
Why are you?
Do you like working with me?
Yes. If you'd like to take part on Lie Detector, call 0171 293 2494 now. Lie Detector, every day on live TV.
Welcome back to Rampage with more of the best in British wrestling coming your way. Before the break, we found out that the anarchist Doug Williams will face some tough stipulations next week in his match with fallen angel Christopher Daniels. Doug Williams wants to use Christopher Daniels as a stepping stone, but the way ahead is far from certain. If the anarchist beats the angel, then he takes the coveted 10th spot in the UWA TV title Winner Stays On tournament. A victory over the angel would mean he's the last and freshest athlete to enter the ring in the unique television championship gauntlet match. But if he loses, then he's the first man in and will have to beat all 9 other tough competitors on his way to championship gold. It all hangs on the result of his match with the fallen angel next week. We'll see Christopher Daniels in action against Danny Royal a little later on, but right now he's with Jamila, and we're about to find out how he feels about being caught up in the anarchist's destiny.
So, Fallen Angel, the anarchist really wants to get his hands on you next week. What do you think about that?
Well, that makes him a lot like you, Jamila, because I know you want to put your hands all over the Fallen Angel, just like all the other women in the whole UK. But Doug Williams, there's a price to pay for putting your hands on the Fallen Angel, and you will pay it. You don't like to follow the rules, but you will follow the first commandment of the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels. That is, bow down before the one you serve. When you get in that ring, I'm going to show you that yesterday, today, and forever, the fallen angel rules professional wrestling, no matter where I'm at. You know it, I know it, and you'll learn it. Doug Williams, you're going to be all mine.
Thank you.
The fallen angel in good spirits, and he'll be back to take on Danny Royal later on in the hour. Right now, it's our first international match of the day. Last week, we saw Tiger Mask 4 defeat Jason Cross to claim the vacant MPW British Commonwealth Junior Heavyweight title. This week, another star from Michinoku Pro Wrestling in Japan wants to test himself against Britain's best athletes. So let's get down to ringside to see Gran Naniwa take on our very own Kerry Cabrero.
And we're back down here at ringside as Kerry Cabrero makes his way to the ring. Now, Kerry, Steve, is one of the hardest working athletes in this country. He's a tremendous wrestler, and he just likes to get in the ring and wrestle.
Well, let me tell you, Kenny, tonight, a nation expects he's got to deliver against Naniwa.
Well, that's right, Steve. Gran Naniwa coming in from the Michinoku Pro organization in Japan. And as we know, that's just a great place to come from. We know he's going to be gifted.
To us from Michinoku Pro Wrestling in Japan, please welcome to the United Kingdom, Gran Naniwa.
As I was saying, Steve, Gran Naniwa coming from Michinoku Pro Wrestling in Japan that's produced such great stars.
Oh dear, not another Jap in Panto. We had Tiger Mask last week, and here's another one tonight. Where do they find them, Kenny?
Come on, Steve, that is completely unnecessary. These guys are tremendous athletes. Some of the greatest wrestlers in the world come from Michinoku Pro Wrestling. And the way you disrespect their mask, which means so much to them, just disgusts me.
I am respectful, because I saw one of them made on Blue Peter not long ago, and it takes a lot of work, Kenny.
Yeah, thank you, Steve, for that intelligent and insightful comment.
Kenny, just look at the way that he is being disrespectful to the crowd here this evening.
Well, we know that he's a bad guy, he's a rule breaker. He doesn't care much for the fans, but we do know that he's going to provide us with a tremendous, tremendous wrestling match here with Kerry Cabrero. Kerry getting nose to nose with him there, and Naniwa just brushing him away. They lock up now. Naniwa with a waist lock. Kerry takes him down. And a drop toe hold. And a hip top.
Oh, Kerry! He can't take any more. Naniwa is losing his bottle.
Well, I think he got caught a little off guard there. He doesn't really know Kerry too well. He's not seen him before. So I guess he was just a little surprised at how fast Kerry comes out of the blocks. And, oh, you can't see it on screen just now, but Naniwa reaching for a chair there.
If he wants to play dirty, Kerry can do that as well.
Oh yeah, there's not much Kerry can't do as Naniwa gets to the top rope. Walking along the rope. And comes down with a big chop across the shoulder. That's a devastating maneuver, isn't it, Steve?
Well, I was admiring his balance on the ropes. It was quite wonderful.
Yeah, he is. He's a very talented guy, as I was saying. Does the mask matter now, Steve?
He's got all the grace of a ballet dancer and the mask of a trick-or-treater.
Yes, well, as I said before, thanks for your insight, Steve.
Anytime.
He's biting his fingers now. Oh, my God.
Well, they do serve up some strange dishes in his homeland, but let me tell you, Kerry Cabrero is not one of them.
Kerry there managing to roll him up for a 1 count there. And now Naniwa is standing on his arm. He really seems to be going to work on this arm. I guess it's like the old adage that a 3-legged table won't stand up. If he can take out his arm, there's not many moves that Kerry can deliver to Naniwa. Big chops in the corner again.
That's it, Kerry. Kerry comes back now.
Kerry now up in the top rope, playing to the crowd. Gets drop kicked to the floor. Oh my. That's about a 6-foot fall there. Naniwa now with a big tope con hilo on the floor.
Oh,
and
dear.
Kerry seems to have hurt his knee there.
See, that mask makes him even more aerodynamic, Kenny. That's why.
Is that what it does, Steve? Okay.
No, you can ask the crowd for support, Naniwa, but you're not going to get it. They want to see Kerry Cabrero here win this match.
I'm not sure if they are, though. Like I said, his knee seemed to buckle under him as he got hit by that tope there. But Naniwa now going to work with a reverse chin lock. Ted Tanabe making the count, but he's raking his eyes now.
Oh, dear.
I thought that was a chin lock. Our cameras couldn't see that. He was actually raking Kerry's eyes.
This guy is a disgrace. He is a disgrace, Kenny.
He's a disgrace. Yeah, this is.
Well, I'm glad we agree.
Right.
He is. This is an outrage. Come on, Kerry.
For the first time, Kenny McBride and Steve Morgan agreeing that Gran Naniwa is just disgusting in the ring here. This is entirely inappropriate. Big uppercut there. And a spinning clothesline. Naniwa thinks it's over, pinning him with 1 foot. 1, 2. But Kerry kicks out. Well, that's the mistake Naniwa made. An arrogant cover there. And oh!
What's that called, Kenny? That probably hurt Naniwa's head.
I don't think we're allowed to say that on TV. But anyway, Kerry really needs to get through this match without getting hurt anymore. I mean, we talked about his knee injury there after that tope outside the ring. But he really needs to get in shape because he's got that 10-man title tournament coming up soon as well.
Absolutely, and it's death or glory for Doug Williams next week up against the Fallen Angel. Oh, dear.
Another near fall there.
Absolutely. But we're, as I was saying there, Kenny, we're seeing the Fallen Angel next up against Danny Royale.
Yes.
This is to be a corker, but this one has got the adrenaline running.
Kerry coming back with big chops there. Tosses Naniwa outside. And
come on, Kerry.
What's Kerry doing now? Grabbing one of our ring attendants' chairs.
Maybe he fancies to sit down and rest.
He's going into the ring with it. I don't like the look of this.
Yes! Brilliant maneuver!
At the other side of the ring. Runs across.
Oh, superb!
Springboard off the chair into a huge cross-body tope outside the ring. Absolutely incredible move. Let's see that again.
Absolutely. That was wonderful.
There is a huge, huge dive over the top rope.
And the crowd absolutely loved it.
But Naniwa's back. He throws Kerry into the ring post and picks up the chair himself. Oh, shot into the ribs. Kerry's really taken a pounding in this match, hasn't he, Steve?
He absolutely has, but what's astounding is his overall stamina. He can take it.
Naniwa up top with a huge Santo dive, top rope to the floor. Let's see that again. And there is, as we see, great elevation, huge leap from the top rope to the floor with that Santo dive from Gran Naniwa. And Kerry looks absolutely exhausted.
Kenny, Kerry now is going to have to call on every last reserve of stamina that he's got.
Well, like we said earlier, we know he's a very talented guy, but he's taken such a beating from Naniwa. I just don't know if he can last much longer.
It would just be so unjust if Naniwa walks away with victory here this evening.
Well, yeah, and speaking of justice, we're going to see that match with Flying Phil Powers and Paul Sloan looking for justice against the Mad Dog and Johnny Storm.
There is no justice there to be had, only Mad Dog and Johnny Storm winning, but that's another matter. Anyway,
well, we'll talk about that when that match comes around.
Look at the arrogance of this man, Kenny. Look at the sheer arrogance.
He's saying it's over. You saw him there, drawing his hand across his throat. And here, whips him. Kerry can barely stand. Did you see the way Kerry stumbled? Obviously, with that knee problem from earlier, he's just so tired. But he gets his foot up there. And he whips Naniwa now. Flatliner!
Oh, Kerry!
2-3. Flatliner, Steve, always. It's over.
From nowhere, Kenny! From nowhere! Emperor Hirohito, Yoko Ono, Ken Hom, your boy took one hell of a beating!
And here we see it again. Whips him, picks him up, drops him down. Got him in a pinning position. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Nobody kicks out of the flatliner either, Steve. That's just a tremendous move. Hit him out of nowhere when we thought it was all over.
We certainly did. That's the mark of a true champion now. But the question is, will Naniwa shake hands?
Well, Kerry called him to the middle of the ring to shake hands.
No, he's not going to do
uncertain.
it. He's been beaten fair and square, and he just cannot accept it. But there, Kerry Cabrero, a true sportsman and gentleman.
Gran Naniwa finally succumbing to Cabrero's sporting gesture, though Kerry can afford to be sporting after such a tremendous victory. Still to come, Phil Powers and Paul Sloan team up against Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm to avenge the attack on Paul Sloan last week. But up next, the man the Anarchist wants to use as a stepping stone. We get our first glimpse of fallen angel Christopher Daniels in action as he takes on Danny Royal.
Jeff? Huh? Oh, sorry, I was miles away.
Escape the drudgery of home decorating with the Paint Partner. Paint Partner works on any type of surface. Whether you're painting walls, ceilings, floors, doors, or trim, you'll save time and energy. With Paint Partner's special corner pad and trim kit, you'll finish corners perfectly and trim in a jiffy. Use any kind of paint, oil, or latex. With Paint Partner, you'll get the best possible job in a lot less time. The Paint Partner kit includes a large and medium handle with pads, a large capacity paint tray, 2 paint wheels, a 54-inch steel telescopic handle, a special corner pad and convenient trim pad. Plus, you get a full set of replacement pads with complete instructions. All you do is add paint. Paint Partner makes home decorating a breeze.
Here's how to order. Call 0990 601147 or make your cheque payable to Paint Partner and send it to Paint Partner at Mail 54, Plymouth PL1 2YD.
Talk to exciting new people in the phone bar now. Call 09066 144 166 and join up to 210 callers online now. That's 09066 144 166.
Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, get yourself down to the house party and talk live 1-to-1 with the coolest guests around. Come on in and join us on 09066 140 150. You know it makes sense.
If you need a car but can't get credit, Motor Finance Direct can help. If you've had problems in the past, Motor Finance Direct can get you back on the road quick. Just think what a new car could mean to you. There's no complicated forms, no arrangement fees, and lines are open 7 days a week. Free phone 0800 052 1000. Motor Finance Direct can help.
This week on Agony.
Cosy flat share or fancy man nightmare? Should Jason become his mate's mum's toy boy? Is Charlie's new bird just a bit of a handful?
There's nothing wrong with mouthy girls, myth.
What will Peter do now that his escort has backfired? Are Mandy's exclusive rights too much for Steve?
Dramas and dilemmas. Don't miss this week's Agony on Live TV.
Welcome back to Rampage, and in a moment we'll see an athlete who has unwittingly ended up at the centre of a big controversy. Earlier on, Steve Linsky announced that he had signed a match between the anarchist Doug Williams and Linsky's fellow American, the fallen angel Christopher Daniels, for next week. Linsky said that the fallen angel was the only opponent worthy to fight the anarchist and refused to let the anarchist fight Stevie Knight.
I want you saved for Chris Daniels.
Mick McManus has sanctioned the match between Doug Williams and Christopher Daniels, but has added a stipulation, stating that if Doug doesn't beat the Angel, then he will be the first to enter the ring for the UWA TV title Winner Stays On tournament, and will have to defeat 9 other athletes in order to win that TV title. So Doug Williams' fate hangs entirely on the outcome of his match with the man we're about to see. Let's get down to ringside to see the USA's fallen angel, Christopher Daniels, as he takes on one of Britain's brightest stars, 100% British beef, Danny Royal.
Please welcome Anne-Marie Foss.
Well, this is Anne-Marie Foss from Live TV.
And I bet, Kenny, you wouldn't mind wrestling with that, would you?
Well, I don't know if I should say such things on television, Steve, but maybe.
Fair enough.
As we see her getting into the ring. Now, she's our special guest ring announcer for the next match, which is going to be 100% British beef Danny Royal taking on from the United States, the fallen angel, Chris Daniels.
It's a UWA ranking bout set for 1 fall or submission. And the first wrestler in the ring returns from the recent wrestling tour of Germany, originating from Sheerness in Kent. He stands an impressive 6'3" and weighs an imposing 244 pounds. Please welcome Danny Royal.
And here comes Danny Royal. Again, one of the most talented, hard-working guys in the sport today. And there we see it, 100% British beef, Steve.
Or has he got mad cow disease, I wonder, Kenny? Well, we'll find out when the fallen angel takes him on. He's certainly getting plenty of support here this evening.
Well, he's a likable guy, I'll say that for him. He's just a great guy, always smiling, always working hard.
A lot like you, Kenny.
Well, it's a touching thing to say, Steve. But,
no, you're too modest. You are too modest, Kenny.
Oh, thank you, Steve. You're not so bad yourself, after all.
Just fishing for the compliment.
There we see, look at the build on him as well there. Do we go back to Anne-Marie?
Approaching the line stand next and hailing out of Sin City in the USA. This stands a clean 6 foot and weighs 215 pounds. Please welcome the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
And here we see Chris Daniels, the fallen angel, which of course is a metaphor for Satan.
Well done. You've been rehearsing that line, haven't you? Well, it's time for us now to worship at the altar of the fallen angel, because this guy is no mug. And of course, next week, it's the blood or glory match between him and the anarchist Doug Williams. And a lot rests upon the outcome of that, does it not, Kenny?
Well, yeah, Chris Daniels and the anarchist Doug Williams next week to decide who gets to the #1 spot and who gets the all-important #10 spot in that 10-man gauntlet match that we have for the TV title. And I would wager that whoever comes in 10th has got a very good chance of taking the prize.
I can't wait for that one. Can't wait for it, but right now, have we got a match on our hands?
Oh, yes. Chris Daniels coming into the UWA with a terrific reputation, well known, done work with all kinds of companies all across the States, and for the most part has been a star. We see him taking off that robe there. Kind of religious imagery here with the fallen angel. I find it a little disturbing.
Kenneth, he's now defrocked.
That's one way of putting it, Steve. Pulling his tights on. You'd think he'd have got dressed before he came out, wouldn't you?
He's a casual wrestler. Sports casual, Kenny, I think you'd call it.
Is that what you call it, Steve?
Certainly would. I don't know what this crowd are calling him. They're certainly not in favour of whatever he's going to do to Danny Royal.
Well, Danny Royal, always a fan favourite wherever he goes. Oh, Chris Daniels kipping up there. Showing off a little bit, I think. He's very much a psychological wrestler, Chris. Obviously very talented in the ring, but he likes to play mind games with his opponents.
Very, very methodical, the fallen angel. Like a poker player. Just soaks it up and then dishes it out.
Yeah, he does. And I think we're going to see that here. He's in no hurry to beat Danny. Again, very full of self-confidence, like so many of the guys we've seen tonight. Yeah, the crowd is hostile to him, though. This British crowd obviously prefers its British beef to its American.
Well, what I would say is they just don't recognise a quality wrestler.
I don't think it's got anything to do with his talent in the ring. I think it's got to do with the obnoxious attitude that he takes on.
Obnoxious? The man's not obnoxious. He's just confident. There's a difference, Kenny.
Yeah, well, I was talking to him in the back, Stephen. I found him thoroughly obnoxious.
In the back of what?
In the back of the arena. Oh, look, he's taken off already. He's taking a break on the outside, looking for a bit of a breather. He's maybe a little frustrated with Danny taking such an advantage so early in the match.
The thing is, with the Fallen Angel, you don't know how much of this is legitimate injury or actually mind games that he's playing with his opponent.
Well, that's right. It is all about mind games for him. He's very tough, and he does tend to take a lot of punishment before he finishes an opponent off. So maybe that's what we're seeing here. Maybe he is just playing possum.
Well, Danny Royal certainly getting the better of him now. And I wonder how the anarchist Doug Williams is going to do up against him.
Well, it should be interesting to see. I mean, obviously the stakes are a lot higher in the anarchist match with Chris. So we'll be seeing that next week as Danny picks him up for something here. I'm not sure what yet. Picks him up. Huge press slam, taking the... And here is Doug Williams.
You just saw him there. Doug Williams has ventured out just to size up the Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels, because, of course, next week, it's him in there against him.
Big Samoan drop there from Chris Daniels. Yeah, Doug Williams, of course, won't have seen much of Chris Daniels. He's not a particularly well-known wrestler in Britain, at least not yet. And I think Doug's trying to do a bit of scouting before he has to face him in the ring. Cover now.
Well, he's taking his time about him. He's certainly sizing him up.
Yeah, we just see Doug, just that ominous presence in the aisle there. 1, 2. And he kicks out again. Chris Daniels upset with our referee there. But I think Tiger McGuigan on the whole has done a very good job tonight. We've seen him in a couple of matches, and for the most part has made some very good calls. Danny looks tired now, though.
The crowd chanting, "We hate Yanks," which is not particularly friendly, but who knows? He needs that sort of thing. He loves the hostility of the crowd. He plays upon that. It feeds him.
Well, this whole fallen angel image that he projects, he's certainly not a nice guy. Some would even say he was evil. Huge moonsault there off the second rope there. Tremendous maneuver, tremendous high-flying athletic maneuver, and the anarchist's impressed.
I just think the Fallen Angel is misunderstood, that's all, Kenny. He's quite a nice chap. But the question is, with Doug Williams stood there sizing him up, he must be asking whether or not Steve Linsky did the right thing by allowing him not to go into the ring against Stevie Knight.
Yeah, well, you have to wonder. I mean, Steve Linsky isn't even out here with Doug to help him with his scouting report. You'd think the manager would want to see the opponent as well, but Steve Linsky, I guess is just preoccupied with Johnny Storm and Mad Dog McPhee, preparing for that big tag match that we've got coming next.
That's going to be revenge there for Mad Dog and Johnny, because they deserve it after last week. But anyway, I think Steve Linsky has done the right thing.
Cover 1, 2. Danny Royal going for a cover there, only getting 2. As we said, Chris Daniels, very resilient, very tough athlete. And he managed to kick out without too much difficulty there. Suplex from Danny Royal. And he drops him, held him up for a long time there. He's 100% British beef. He's a big, powerful guy with a 2 count there. Chris Daniels again gets the shoulder up just at the last second. And a rake of the eyes. Whipping Danny off. Danny ducks under the clothesline. Drops him. Full Nelson drop. I've never seen any move like that before. Chris Daniels got his foot on the ropes there on that pinfall attempt there. Otherwise,
Danny's not happy about that. Really not happy. He's going to have to watch himself, because the Fallen Angel knows all the tricks in the book.
That's the angel wings. That's the angel wings. That's one of his trademark moves, but he's not going for the cover. Why not?
Well, Danny can't take his eye off him for a second.
Picks him up. What's this going to be? That's the last right. That's the last right. 1.
Will it
2,
be?
3.
He's got him.
Yeah, and fans, you can't see it now, but the Anarchist leaving now, just melting back into the crowd. He seems to be satisfied with what he's learned about Chris Daniels.
He's seen what the Fallen Angel can do, and now he's getting ready for that big match next week. A lot resting on that, of course.
Chris Daniels there with 2 tremendous moves, the Angel Wings and the last right, finishing off Danny Royal.
Even with that victory, the crowd still haven't warmed to him.
A solid victory there for the Fallen Angel, which was closely observed by the man he faces next week, the anarchist Doug Williams. The man who signed that match is controversial manager Steve Linsky, and he's got a busy week ahead of him. The Anarchist against the Fallen Angel next week, and Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm against Phil Powers and Paul Sloan coming up right after the break. Steve Linsky is standing by with Jamila and has a lot to say on both those subjects.
So, Steve, your team's really busy at the moment.
Well, you can say that, Jamila. Next week we have the Anarchist, Doug Williams, my boy, versus the Fallen Angel. But right coming up in a moment, we have the great big tag team match, which pits Johnny Storm, my man, and Mad Dog Stuart McPhee versus Phil Powers and that other guy, Paul Sloan. And let me tell you something, my guys are gonna win.
Judge Judy, in 15 minutes.
I don't need any help, sir. Excuse me.
Tonight at 9.
Does Spencer still see his ex? They were sort of standing behind a tree. I could make out that they were cuddling each other.
Lie Detector. Tonight at 9.
So, you think it will never happen to you, but somewhere in Britain there's a break-in every minute. That's why your home needs protection with a security system from Extra Watch. Call 0800 955 999. Extra Watch puts your home online to the emergency services 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. If there's a break-in, the system immediately contacts our communication center so we can take action fast. Extra Watch Home Security features state-of-the-art design and technology, but it's clear and easy to use. Systems start from just £299 fully installed and connected, including personal attack alarm. And with a monitoring charge of less than £1 a day, that's a small amount to protect your family and home 24 hours a day. Call 0800 955 999 now for details of this special offer. That's 0800 955 999. Extra Watch, security for life.
Hi, I'm Danny Kelly, editor of Football 365, and I've got something that everybody wants just now. 2 tickets for the FA Cup final between Manchester United and Newcastle. And not just ordinary tickets either. These beauties allow you and a friend to spend the day lording it up in unparalleled luxury, then see the final itself. And all you have to do to get your hands on this great prize is to ring 09069 12 11 99 and answer a really simple question. So give us a ring now and you could be at Wembley this Saturday.
Have you or any member of your family had an accident in the last 3 years, suffered lost earnings, incurred medical bills or paid any out-of-pocket expenses resulting from an accident? If yes, then speak to Claims Direct now to find out if you're entitled to compensation. We're personal injury specialists, dedicated to helping victims of accidents that required medical attention in the last 3 years. At work, as the driver or passenger in a road accident, or trip or fall anywhere. Right now, Claims Direct are handling compensation claims for accident victims worth an estimated £60 million. Our personal injury specialist helped Mrs. Frampton after a bad fall. She got £16,000. Mr. Barrett called Claims Direct after his accident at work. He got £20,000. And the good news is Claims Direct underwrites the total cost of making your claim. If we're not successful, you don't pay us a penny. Remember, this could be the most important call you make today. Phone Claims Direct free on 0800 44 8843. Call now.
Our mortal journey weaves a perilous path. If an angel were to release us from this life, what pleasures would we indulge in?
Let me pop your cork.
What secrets would we tell?
I fall in love with you.
Would we take time to settle old scores?
Don't deny it, mate.
Dare we stand up to our darkest demons?
Lid on.
You right there?
I'm quite nauseous.
No Tomorrow, tonight at 9:30 on Live TV.
Welcome back to UWA Wrestling Rampage, and we're getting set for a tag team showdown. Phil Powers and Paul Sloan are like master and student. Phil has trained Paul all the way to the UWA. Last week, the mentor showed his skill with a victory over the ferocious Mad Dog McPhee. Powers vowed to stay away from ringside during Paul Sloan's match later that night, saying that Paul could easily hold his own.
Paul Sloan's a tough cookie. He doesn't need his mentor at ringside, but all I've got to say is I wish Paul Sloan 100% the best of luck. He doesn't need me at ringside. He's a tough guy.
Later on, it was indeed the rookie's turn, and he looked impressive against Wonder Kid Johnny Storm until Mad Dog McPhee interjected a drink can while Linsky occupied the referee. Johnny Storm came away with a pinfall, but that wasn't enough for the Linsky mob. Adding insult to injury, Mad Dog vented his frustrations at losing to Phil Powers by delivering a brutal powerbomb, while Steve Linsky demonstrated his contempt with a series of humiliating slaps. Another powerbomb followed, and Phil Powers could not sit idly by. He cleared Mad Dog and Johnny Storm out of the ring before nailing them with a magnificent tope over the top rope. UWA chairman Mick McManus took one look at the carnage and decided that the only way to settle it was with the tag team match you're about to see.
And Steve, there we hear those ominous howls that mean Mad Dog McPhee's on his way to the ring.
Absolutely, and after last week, I'm surprised Phil Powers is even thinking about getting back in the ring with the Mad Dog.
That's right, here we see it. Mad Dog with huge, devastating knees right into the corner, cracking Phil Powers' ribs.
There's no love lost between these two tag teams.
And their opponents both represent the UWA Training Academy. One is People and one is Shooter. Together, they bring to the ring 420 sky-flying pounds. Let's hear it for Paul Sloan and Flying Phil Powers.
There Phil's music starts up, and here they come, Flying Phil Powers and his protege, the incredible Paul Sloan.
They should have stayed at home, Kenny. They should have stayed at home.
But they're in the ring, and we're kicking things off early here. Double whip, reversals, and clotheslines. Paul Sloan tosses Mad Dog out to the floor. They've now got a hold of Johnny Storm. Double drop down, leapfrog, double leapfrog. And Johnny just rolls outside the ring. He doesn't want any of that.
Steve Linsky there, just giving his boys a little bit of advice. He knows how to play this one, and he knows that Powers and Sloan are no match for Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm. Let me tell you that, Kenneth.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Steve, that Phil Powers and Paul Sloan are going to give Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm the fight of their lives. Johnny's just getting back into the ring now, and there, a big power slam from Phil as he came in. Now tags out to Paul Sloan. Paul Sloan and Johnny, of course, both very young. Not much experience. But still, Paul proving there what a great athlete he is with that great sidewalk slam. Whips Johnny off the ropes again. Catches him. Johnny looked to be going for something there. But Paul, too much power.
Paul Sloan is just jealous because Mad Dog McPhee and Johnny Storm have got more hair than him. That's why.
What? Mad Dog just stormed in there, powerbombed Paul Sloan, and the referee did nothing. Now he's trying to get...
Well, it was a legitimate maneuver, Kenny, that's why.
No, it wasn't, Steve. Mad Dog McPhee was not the legal man. He did not belong in there.
I'm really not sure you're watching the same fight as me.
As Johnny Storm gets up on the top rope. Big frog splash on Paul Sloan. We saw him miss that move last week, but there he gets a 2 count out of it. As he tags out to Mad Dog now. Now Mad Dog's got a lot of experience and he's a big guy. He can match power with Paul. And there with a big suplex, going for a cover now. 1, 2. Phil there just itching to take the tag from Paul Sloan. He wants in at Mad Dog now. But he's not going to get him just yet.
It doesn't matter if he does come in. It doesn't matter if Phil Powers does get the tag. It's always going to be the same story once he's in there up against Mad Dog McPhee or Johnny Storm.
Well, yeah, Johnny and Mad Dog, as much as I dislike them, oh my, with a great senton drop there. Goes for cover, 1, 2. And Paul Sloan kicks out. as I was saying, Johnny and Mad Dog, they're both tremendous tag team wrestlers here. We can see them. They're cutting off the ring. They've got Paul basically trapped in their half of the ring as Johnny goes for a very innovative cover.
Lovely move.
Very interesting pinning combination, almost like a La Magistral. But
that's easy for you to say.
Not that easy. Oh, huge thrust kick right into the jaw of Paul Sloan. Takes him down. The referee checking Paul Sloan as Johnny Storm tags out to Mad Dog McPhee.
Now here come the pain.
Mad Dog there with a figure 4 leg lock. Paul's in a lot of pain there. This puts a lot of pressure on your knee, on your ankle. It's a tremendously painful move, but Paul reverses it. Paul reverses it, and Mad Dog makes it to the ropes. Jens Hellman trying to break the hold. Our German referee here tonight. Johnny Storm's waiting on the ropes for something. What's this going to be?
Oh, wonderful!
Oh, that's tremendous maneuver. Tremendous maneuver.
Sheer brilliance there.
Mad Dog McPhee sweeping the legs out. 1, 2. And I wonder if we can get another look at that move, because that was just incredible, Steve.
It was fantastic. Here it comes now. Superb.
Yeah, there you see it. Johnny Storm with a spinning leg lariat from the top turnbuckle, while Mad Dog swept the legs out. And a huge double clothesline. Both men down.
Oh, dear. Now, that wasn't in the game plan.
No, who's going to get up first? Paul Sloan in the corner, tags Phil Powers. In comes flying Phil Powers. And going wild, coming in with that real fire in his heart here.
Is that legal? Is that legal?
Of course it's legal. He hooks Johnny Storm up. It's going to be a slingshot suplex. No! Slingshot something.
Just a slingshot.
I don't know what to call that.
Between
slingshot
frames.
from a suplex position into a sit-down pile driver. An incredible move.
Here is just getting lucky.
Didn't catch all of them there with that pile driver. More like coming down on the back of the neck, which obviously painful as well, but not the danger to the head as Phil Powers goes to the top rope again.
Powers is just getting lucky. He's come in, he's fresh, he's been waiting
Phil Powers,
there
big
for
splash,
ages.
but Steve Linsky's in the ring.
He's going to... No, he wasn't. He's just tired himself out. Now, he's going out and picking on some poor defenseless member of the audience.
Come on, Steve. Why was Steve Linsky in the ring there?
He wasn't in there.
Mad Dog going for a powerbomb on the floor. We've seen that before, but Phil backdrops him. And now Phil finally going to get some revenge.
That is shameful. That is shameful. Mad Dog was just there trying to protect his manager, who was doing nothing and just being picked on by a bully. He's a bully, Kenny.
And here Phil Powers goes back to the top rope again. Drop kick. Johnny Storm topples down, lands on the back of his head. Paul Sloan makes the cover. 1, 2, 3.
Well, Phil Powers shouldn't even be in the ring. And what's he doing kissing the referee? He knows he got off lucky, that's why.
Paul Sloan taking over on Johnny Storm after the match there, stomping him out of the ring. But what an incredible match, and finally some justice.
Incredible, it was criminal, Kenny. It was absolutely criminal. Well, this is where the fight should have been stopped. Mad Dog's trying to protect Steve Linsky, and Bully Boy Powers just comes out and picks on him.
That's not fair. We all saw it. We saw Mad Dog powerbomb Phil on the 24th floor of Canary Wharf, and I think that revenge from Phil and Paul is entirely deserved.
Paul Sloan's honour restored with authority. That's all for this week. We'll have another titanic tag team battle next week when the fearsome Death Squad meet rising tag stars Shane and Murphy. Plus, it all hangs in the balance for Doug Williams when he faces the fallen angel Christopher Daniels. I'll see you next week as I leave you now with these words from the Anarchist.
Fallen angel Christopher Daniels, you have decided to enter the kingdom of the Anarchist. And I know for you that means a couple of points of uncertainty. But I know two things that are certain. One, you will be beaten like a dog. And two, you will subscribe to the chaos theory and you will be lying in the centre of the ring while I take the 3 count. 1, 2, 3.
For more information on the Ultimate Wrestling Alliance, call the UWA hotline on 0660 020 009. Calls cost 50p a minute, and you need permission from whoever pays the bill before calling. Or you can write or email us at the address on your screen.